Was there an aleph here? Was there a harakat here? You know. So
Just
that's
because
essentially what
it might
happened.
be easy to do though. If you think of on a society-wide base, they're definitely, or they're most likely, it'd be very plausible for such errors to be made in misremembrance. But an entire society, that the main focus in that stage would have been very fresh in their mind, focusing on the religion to make that mistake, or for a significant portion of to make the mistake to the point where there's dispute about which is correct, is something that it would need to be proven. The same with this, what I've got here. I mean, obviously, I can reasonably look at the differences between them, but also I then need to see is like obviously I can see that one means one thing, one means the other. How do I know that one of them is just incorrect? And obviously the difference is one of them be like, okay,
Yeah,
there's differences, but this difference is of it like the Wash, for example,
yeah,
where so little people follow it. How do I why can't I, and this is something I will look at myself, but why
yeah.
can't I just go, yeah, this is wrong?
Because there are people who use the worst version of the Quran. Again, there used to be more before the 1924 version. There were people who said, no, actually, this is exactly how it's supposed to be pronounced. Because my father told me this, and my father's father told me this, and then they go back, they'll trace it all the way back to the original Muslims, right?
Right, so they
Um,
have lines of transmissions, solid lines
yeah,
of transmissions for it.
and like I believe it's very similar for the Bible as well. People will transmit it, say, oh well, my great grandfather taught me this way, my great 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 grandfather taught me this way. But if there's differences, then to me that's not a very good divinely like preserved. Like the what would make it miraculous is if regardless of where you were, regardless of which country you were in, they all were able to remember it the exact same way. I think that's the beauty of the argument, is that no matter where you are, if you're in Africa, North Africa, or whether you're in like Saudi Arabia, the way that people have remembered the Quran is exactly the same. I think that's a very convincing argument, but that's not what happens because people in North Africa recite the Quran using different letters, different harakat, different meanings of words than the people in Saudi Arabia.
While I can agree that if it happened would obviously be more convincing proof, I don't use the what people do as definitive way to justify what's proof and what's not. If these 3% of people are wrong, then it doesn't matter that there's a significant 3%. There's a lot of people getting it wrong. Like the fact that it's very minor means that there's probably not much impact on it anyway.
Well, it's
But
3% after 1924. That's an important caveat, right? Like
right.
1924 is when most of the Umayyad people were like, "Hey, we need a Quran that is like everyone recites it the same." And
Mhm.
that's kind of a repeat of the argument that happened when you know why the Qurans needed to be burned, right?
Because there were deviations
There were
arising.
deviations. People were pronouncing it differently. People were reciting it
Small
differently. People had
deviations. It was nipping a problem before it started.
actually not even that. There were like the history is really messy. If you look at the how the Quran was compiled, obviously Muhammad never wrote anything down. He was believed to be illiterate. Zayd ibn Thabit was his primary scribe. When Muhammad died, people started like misremembering parts of the Quran. So under the Khalifas, under Umar and I forget I forget the other one's name, but under the Khalifas, Zayd ibn Thabit was appointed as the primary scribe. So when Zayd ibn Thabit went to various like people who remember the Quran, they remembered it differently. And so some, for example, the biggest difference is some Qurans had like 116 chapters, some had 114 chapters, some had 111. Obviously, right now we have the 114 one, but the 116 chapter Quran was actually remembered by one of the primary scribes. If you look up Bukhari 3608, there's four people that Muhammad appoints as his scribes, and the four people didn't even agree on how many chapters should be in the Quran. So that's why there's so much confusion on which Quran is correct. It's not just people recited it slightly differently. There were entire chapters people didn't agree on.
I I,
Like
I am familiar with this one. It's been so long since I've had to demonstrate this knowledge that again I can't argue at that point. Although I'm reasonably certain that this one isn't going to be like I'd be able to find out a resolution to this problem that I'd be happy with after a few Google searches.
yeah, I mean I think that's isn't that a like if your primary argument is like I don't know if like if your primary argument is that the Quran remains unchanged and has remained the same across the entirety of the Umayyad, wouldn't you have a consistent amount of chapters, a consistent amount, like a consistent meaning, consistent writing, consistent recitation? Wouldn't be
For my main justification, right, is the Quran being unchanged is a contingent proof to show the prophecies, which are the convincing evidence, because prophecies on their own aren't convincing. Because after the war, which is a very convincing prophecy, happened, if someone just went and changed it to add that in, then obviously that could be an argument. If we don't know that it was written before the war happened, then
Right.
just writing it in obviously would invalidate the prophecy. So the fact that it's unchanged is more of a fundamental way to disprove counter arguments, or that's the wrong way of putting it. A fundamental fact that needs to be there for the prophecies to be convincing. Now, hang on, I'm getting a call from my mum.
Oh my god, can you just do fucking moral arguments at this point? I don't care about any of this.
Oh, hang on. I just got a fourth. I just realized. I'm calling her. At this point, this is annoying.
I mean, in regards to this Islamic argument, it's not something
Wait,
I
hang on one sec, really
want.
quick. Fatima, get on! Wait, I can't hear you. Hang on, let me put you on speaker there. Hello?
Hello?
Get on.
You guys are already playing?
No, we're not. We're three
Why
people
is she
waiting for a
British?
fourth.
Why is he also British? Why is everyone British?
GK, I told you.
You said that an hour ago, what?
Yeah, well, we died.
Doc, why are you friends with so many British people?
It's so boring though.
It's so boring. No, it's the most fun Easter egg there is.
No, I've never done that one.
Well, how do you know it's boring if you haven't done it?
I don't like the map.
Well,
I don't like the map.
You say you don't like the map?
Yeah, it's so bad.
Okay, what would you like to do instead?
Like Revelations or something.
Oh my god, that's disgusting.
I do Revelations.
I don't know what that even is. I don't think I have it down. I can't download something that doesn't exist. Anything else other than Revelations?
What's wrong with Revelations?
I do
Everything.
Revelations.
It's not a real map. It's a combination of maps. Any other map.
Doc, who the fuck is that?
How about what?
Kino?
Kino. The Easter egg to Kino.
Oh,
Something with
I'm
an-
down for the Kino Easter egg.
Something with an Easter egg, please.
I'm down for the Kino Easter egg.
How about Moon?
I don't want to do Moon.
What the fuck?
Okay, it's okay, Doc. I already have someone who can join. Who is
How-
that? Who genuinely
How
who is
about
that?
DE?
Let's do
We're not doing
We
DE.
did that for...
Oh my god. No, we didn't. You died. We died.
Doc, you're not giving me any context to who this person is.
Zarda, this is Fatima. We played together like a little bit ago. Oh wait, no, you were in there. Okay, get in the party, and then we can do it. Because now Zardoth is yelling in my ear, and I don't know what you're saying.
I'm not playing Moon.
Okay, I'll see you in the party.
Yellow.
Okay, bye. All right, sorry. My bad. Meltdown. What were you saying?
I'm sorry,
I
I'm not
was
playing
about-
Moon.
I was about to say, in regards to the Islamic argument, it's not something I particularly wanted to do anyway. It's just like I didn't want to it's something I do care about, so I didn't want to just be like, I don't want to talk about it, because that would be like, oh, well, you clearly don't want to. It would be showing that I didn't want to know. Where I'm more than happy to have the argument, it just wasn't really the time or place.
No, yeah, no, I agree. I was just waiting for a fourth join, but Fatima is here, so we
Doc
are.
loves arguing about this because he has no life.
Shut up. I have a life. I do things.
Okay, what Easter egg are you playing?
Okay, Fatima, listen, okay, listen. The reason why we do. Okay.
We should. We should do Revelations.
I don't
We've
have a
never-
relation.
You download Revelations. What do you mean?